This one's going to be a tricky one for me to make because it's very personal, and as much as I'm very used to producing music and films and publishing those works, I'm not very used to sharing personal information about myself. But I think sometimes it's important to give a little information about who I am, and what's happening. And I am not very well. I have been told I have a neurological condition which could potentially affect the things that I love doing. It's not going to get any better. Hopefully it won't get considerably worse, but that would be largely down to expertise of professionals and how well my body kind of deals with things. I don't want to get too deep into that. Those are facts, and it's been something that I've been dealing with, I suppose, over the past few years, and I'm still gaining information regarding exactly what is going on. And I'm definitely an advocate of if something doesn't feel right, get it checked, get it sorted. But yeah, I find myself in an interesting position where there are things that I've always done. There are things that I love to do, like trumpet playing, which is what this particular channel is going to be all about, and other stuff too. So yeah, there's things that, I love doing that potentially I'm going to have to face the prospect of not doing them, or doing them less, or doing them in a different way, or being careful about certain things that I do, because such is the state of my brain that I have to be careful. And that's probably about as much as I want to say about that. It does lead me on to talk about the subject of the film, which is how we tend to say I have attributed my kind of sense of self-worth to how successful I feel I've been in a creative sense. It's really not a very good thing, I don't think. It's not a pleasant feeling sometimes. I think if things are going great and you feel like you're on top of the world, then it's great, but it's not the best thing to do, I don't think. We are worth far more, in my opinion, than the sum of our creative output. And by that I mean, how well we think we're doing, how many gigs we have, how many people turned up to our gigs. And I suppose largely when you're a musician or you're working in creative areas, we do tend to judge ourselves based on how engaged our audience are, or whether we even have an audience. Often there isn't an audience, and it's easy then to kind of make ourselves feel like no one cares and we're a failure. I don't think that's a very nice feeling, and I think lots of people feel that. I think lots of people look at what other people seem to be doing and think, oh, they're having such a lot of fun, or they're doing lots of things and I'm not doing that. And sometimes, often actually, I don't think that's the case. I think, especially with the online world, we see the best versions of people. Nobody posts up the kind of bad times. Nobody posts up all the mundane things that go on, and the kind of the hardships. And for good or bad, I've been doing this for a very long time, and believe me, the general kind of vibe is one of, what the hell am I doing? Is this worth it? And maybe I'm in a minority for feeling that. Most successful people would probably go along with the fact that they're seen to be successful from a certain perspective, but they'll have had their struggles. So this mindset of, I'm failing because I haven't done this, or I haven't done that, or I can't do this. If you can avoid adopting that mindset, that kind of a mindset of almost envy, of I want what that person has, be careful what you wish for, because I don't think it's what it seems. I think it's far wiser to accept who we are, to recognise who we are and the uniqueness of what we do, and to accept that. I mean, for example, a lot of what I do is quite alternative. it doesn't appeal necessarily, a lot of it, to a wide audience. So I've come to recognize and understand that anyone who's going to be interested in the kind of stuff that I do is going to be niche, it's going to be a kind of smaller audience. And I've really come to enjoy that in more recent times. I like the fact that, you know, I'm never going to be playing sellout crowds in big concert halls. And I don't want to, actually. I think once upon a time I was confused and I thought that was the thing to do. You know, I should be gigging all the time and playing to a lot of people. That would be bizarre, you know, for me to be going out doing some of the mad bonkers stuff that we do and playing to large audiences on a regular basis. I don't think there's that many people in the world who would be interested in what I do. Strangely, I'm thankful for that. There's an audience that kind of has maybe found some of the stuff that I do, and I can connect with those people far better, and it's more fun in a way, because I'm not trying to sell a product to people who don't really want it. I'm not having to kind of censor or moderate what I do because I'm putting it out to the kind of biggest possible audience. I'm accepting that what I do is niche and what I do is alternative. So it's only going to appeal to a certain group of people. This whole area of self-worth according to our achievements is a big talking point, I think. I can remember when I was younger and I went away to college, and I was very sensitive being, and I couldn't cope with it really. I couldn't cope with playing in a room and there was somebody in the next room. Not really about what they were playing, it was about the fact that they could hear me going through my processes to try and figure out what I was doing. These days we're surrounded by it because we turn on our phones and we look online, and there's idiots like me banging on about stuff. And if you're a sensitive soul and you get distracted by these things, as I do often, again, it's no good. It's no good. It's just a bad feeling, and something that I have learned to avoid. And the thing that helped me was definitely recognizing that I was not just Ben Thomas who plays the trumpet. I wasn't just Ben Thomas who makes the music, or Ben Thomas who makes the films. I'm also Ben Thomas who is a human being. The human element and my relationships in particular are the most important thing. And that's taken me pretty long time to kind of fully accept it's okay to do what I'm doing and to just speak and to be honest and say, well, you know, I'm not perfect and I'm actually not very well, and that's the beauty of life. The other thing that has brought me more recently is how hard it can be to feel like you are still valid within this world whilst not really feeling very well. And I know, because I know people who are creative, who are wanting to produce their work, who also don't feel very well. It's very difficult often in those situations where you just don't feel very well to find the motivation, to find the strength to pick up a horn, to speak some words, to create some work, to go to work, to get out of bed. I do recognize that when you don't feel well, it's like the floodgates just come pouring in, and you think, well, what's the point? Why should I bother? Every time kind of life serves a blow, and it doesn't just apply to kind of if you have illness, but you know, when life as it does serves another pounding, it's so easy to just roll over and give up. And I think sometimes probably just surviving is as much as we can do, and that's fine. You know, no one should ever feel like there's pressure to kind of do anything. But actually I also see when we don't feel like it's worth it, those times are often the times when we should probably be shouting the loudest. And by that I mean creating our work and the writing that we feel is just too much to bear. it's those moments really I feel often are the times that we should be making the effort. Even if we just do something small, often we're not aware of the power that we can bring through like honesty and conviction and of the expression. So yeah, this is not a usual trumpet thing where I say grab the horn and play that. I'm going to be doing some videos like that on this channel, but I'm not really doing it from a teachery point of view. And I don't mean this to sound like I'm talking sense or being wise. I'm not. I'm just being honest, and actually it's quite cathartic in a way. But I do also feel like it's something that I should be doing. If what I say resonates with somebody in a positive way and helps kind of put things in perspective, then it's worth it. And obviously if people don't want to listen, then turn the damn thing off or stop watching, for God's sake. When life is good, it's good. When things are going well, it's great. But it's when things don't go so well, when things are against you, I suppose you've got to make sure that you've invested in the right thing. And if all you do is trumpet playing, for example, is not really going to look after you. This hasn't been the easiest thing to do. In some ways it feels like I shouldn't be doing it, that I should just stay quiet. But I think that's probably the point that I'm trying to make.